Hello and welcome back to Behind the Screen. Today we are going to talk about the Pitt season 2 with HN Films and Hres.
What's up, cunts?
Hello.
I got your channel instantly banned for saying the C word.
People understand that you're Australian.
Yeah.
Um I did not prepare for this episode, so we're just kind of going to go off the cusp. I guess we'll just start like what did you guys think of season 2? Like in comparison to season 1 and all that and how like it worked overall as a season since I think we all watched weekly.
Okay. I've touched on it a little bit in private while talking about it, but I kind of, I was kind of on that same. I'll call it a bandwagon just to be controversial. The whole bandwagon was like, "Ooh, man, it was such a good ensemble performance last season. Everything was intertwining. We got great equal amounts of every character, and now it's not really feeling like that." I was treating it as a negative. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, especially over those last, like 8 episodes, 9 episodes. Even though we were losing, like, momentum a little bit, that was part of it. Uh, I thought it was a pretty great foil to focus on, Noah Wiley or, Dr. Robbie, instead of putting such a crazy emphasis on dividing the screen time equally. I thought it was pretty damn good. I honestly might lean towards it being better just because of that more kind of solidified view on it instead of the whole divide the screen time equally thing. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I know we have some characters that kind of did feel like they were treated unfairly a little bit. Not in terms of like not like they were treated badly on set, but more like they just did objectively get a lot less to do, which we'll probably talk about later. But Noah Wiley, he sealed it for me. He's a large reason why I prefer this season, maybe.
I think I also prefer this season. I thought it was fucking awesome. I don't really have any major issues with it, honestly, other than some characters, like Hres said, kind of being left in the mud, mainly like Mel and Mohan and whatnot. But I thought it was fucking hilarious, and I thought the drama was pretty solid, and I liked that they didn't need to rely on some kind of big thing happening, like the Pit Fest thing. They teased it a few times, but it was just a little bait and switches. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this season.
Yeah, I thought this season was really good. It was definitely different because I felt like season one like had a balance. Like I think Atras kind of touched on, where like you had a balance of characters getting like their own arc and plenty of screen time. And the season was like more focused on Dr. Robbie, which the season one was too, of course. But I think more so the season was more his season than before. I really liked it. I would say I didn't like it as much as season one. Maybe I'd have to like rewatch to like really have a definitive opinion that like if I rewatch maybe that would change. But I do think season one I prefer the balance. I thought we got a lot of characters who were really good in season one and they didn't get as much in season two. Not a bad thing necessarily. I just preferred it, I guess. And some characters I think I wasn't sure about in the beginning of the season. I think they eventually won me over in the end, but yeah, it was a really good season. I love just watching the show every Thursday.
Yeah, I can't really get too mad at some characters not having as much going on because the show is going to be releasing so consistently, like every year, and there's so many episodes that, like, hey, if one character gets left behind, then maybe next season they'll get a lot more to do. Except for Mohan, I guess she just sucks.
Yeah, obviously that's been a big controversy about Mohan not returning for season 3. I don't really understand why that was announced like 2 or 3 episodes before the season ended. I wasn't sure if they knew it would get that kind of response or like it was out of their hands, like maybe it just leaked in some way and the information just came out. But yeah, that was a big controversy over these last couple weeks. I really liked Mohan in season one. I feel like she didn't really have much at all to do in season two, and that when they announced that she's not returning, it kind of made it obvious they like yeah, it's just not much to do this season. I felt um yeah, that was like a major contentious thing the last couple weeks on the internet.
I'll yeah, I'll kind of share a bit of an opinion on that because when that news did break, I was kind of in the same boat where I was like, oh man, that's just they're just revealing a conclusion to a like a kind of a minor subplot type thing for Mohan, choosing what field she wants to specialize in after this whole ER shit is done. But I'll be honest, the way they kind of addressed it, like the in that one interview after the finale, where they were like, yeah, technically Mohan is still working at the hospital at the time season 3 is happening. She's just not working that specific day. It does kind of seem a little bit fishy. Like, I'm not saying they're racist or something secret sinister is going on behind the scenes. It does sound a little bit like it was kind of like a maybe a hasty decision, especially because kind of compounded by the fact by that, like, we didn't really get a much of a resolution to that side plot that we were mentioning earlier, where like she decides she wants to specialize in something. Like we saw her calm down and sort of make very faint amends with Robbie in that in the whole ambulance bay. But yeah, that part does seem a little bit fishy to me now. Like I don't know, something must have went down in my opinion. But that's probably why they decided to reveal that early because they probably knew that this was something going on behind the scenes, in my opinion.
I think it's like overall not really a bad thing that they're writing her off. It is bad in a way because they clearly didn't have much ideas for what to do with her this season. So I appreciate that instead of trying to like, just keep her around and keep coming up with new shit, they just fucking get rid of her. Like it's brutal, but at the same time, if they want to focus on other characters, then they should do that instead of having to feel the obligation to give all the characters these like equal screen time or whatever, you know? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I don't think there's any like drama behind the scenes. I don't think that was the reason
Yeah,
they
definitely
let her
not.
go. Yeah, it kind of seemed like yeah, it was. I think it was obvious in season 2 they didn't really know what to do. Like they're like two directions they could have gone with her because she was like having a tough time this season. I guess you can say like if she's gonna like overcome that and find like that through line to be herself again. I guess. But she didn't. That didn't really happen. So it was clear they're kind of going the other route where she just decides that being a ER doctor isn't like the best path for her. I don't. They didn't fully go into that either. I feel like there was like not really much of an arc for her this season, which is fine. Not like there's quite a few characters I felt like didn't really have a big arc like they did in season 1.
Yeah, I guess we can also talk about Mel, who I kind of think is maybe a little bit of a missed potential with the whole I forgot what the word is, the whole lawyer thing. Did
Deposition.
you guys yeah, that. Like I mean we saw her reaction to it and everything, like she thought she fucked up, and then we found out later in the finale that they're gonna be kind of continuing with the lawsuit and picking on her specifically. Uh, with her, I mean, I don't know. I feel like something a bit was lost there, but like you guys said, it's gonna be really hard to balance equal screen time between everyone, along with they're inevitably gonna introduce like a few new characters every single season. So some people are just gonna have to draw the short end of the stick in that regard.
Well, the Mel one is really weird to me because when he wasn't getting much going on in the first few episodes, I was like, whatever, because we're gonna have that episode where she has her deposition. That's gonna be fucking awesome. And then we just didn't see it. And I guess because the constant runtime of the show, they can't jump away for an hour to have Mel's deposition. But I don't know. That felt like a good opportunity for some cool stuff for her. But no, she just shows up afterwards and she's like, "Man, that really sucked." And then she just makes a sad face throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to see a deposition. I'm not sure how it'd work in a show like this that like they rarely have any scenes that are not in the hospital. Like basically the beginning and end of the season have scenes on the hospital and that's it. So I'm not
Yeah, it could just
sure
be
if it would.
budget and time kind of thing. But then why would you even
Yeah,
have it as a plot point?
I think. Yeah, I don't think it was a huge plot point. I think it's just like to show Mel's anxiety, I guess, and like showcase like that side of being a doctor. Like sometimes you're gonna have to show for a deposition even when you did nothing wrong and you it's basically out of your control. You just did your job, so like that can be kind of terrifying. I guess I don't. The only thing I found that interesting in the middle of the season was with her sister. I don't think it was like super compelling or anything. I just thought it was like kind of it was interesting at least and kind of funny too.
Yeah, I loved all that shit. I thought that was great. But again, it was only for a few episodes. And of course, you have her and Langdon's budding romance. Am I right?
Yeah,
All
Kingdon.
right, bro.
We all
Okay,
ship
bro.
that. We ship this shit.
No, bro, that's a grown ass man.
This is the new Byler, bro. We're all shipping it.
Bro,
I
come
kind
on.
of, but when I was watching the finale though, the final scene with them, it kind of seemed like they're trying to like go towards a romantic thing with the characters. I don't know if that's
They're gonna.
crazy. I
It's
just
happening.
like,
It's 100% happening. I'm calling it.
yeah, I felt like they kind of like responded to the fans. Obviously, they ignore some of the fans' stuff. I feel like with that, they're kind of trying to please the fans a bit.
I think out
It's
of
like,
all the deranged Pitt fans out there, people who ship Mel and Langdon are like the least problematic.
yeah, I was kind of like really against it at first because I thought I saw them as like these like purely platonic like friend group. It was kind of like wholesome how they're like these like total opposite people are like friends, but it's not like the worst thing in the world. It's not like well, we don't have to list them, but there's some pretty wild ships out there.
It would low key kind of be problematic though, because Langdon is like Mel is a bit emotionally stunted. Like he may as well be grooming her at that point.
All right, bro. Is it because she's autistic?
She's mentally like not up there.
I don't think that's a reason to be
Her
problematic.
sister's doing better than her, bro.
I was just trolling, bro. I was just trolling. Chill.
Wait, we need to make
You
this the most
ableist.
controversial BTS episode.
Okay, bro.
The only problematic part about that is that Langdon is still married and has like kids, I think, or a kid.
Nah, next season it would just be like, yeah, they got divorced and they died.
Yeah,
They departed.
probably, honestly.
Leftovers reference.
All right, bro. You guys have a point, I guess. Even though Mel kind of felt like a missed opportunity, the whole season does kind of have that whole like the vibe of the come down, from season one, which was like all cool, and there were some emotional moments, some moments where characters like I think if I remember correctly, Whitaker, like they lost a patient and they were taking it pretty hard, but then they ended up doing cool shit anyways, doing some sick procedures, saving those lives during the Pit Fest shooting. This whole season or this follow-up season, it's kind of like just no one's happy, dude, for those last 8 episodes. There's not a single person that was smiling or happy or anything like that, except for Langdon when he pulled off that sick thing with the person who had his like spine fucked up or their I don't know, something about their neck. But yeah, everyone was just fucked up.
Langdon was actually having a great day, honestly. Like the only people hating on him were Robbie and Santos.
Yeah, but his whole like everything hinged on Robbie for like the first maybe 10 episodes. And he even started doubting himself after that because Robbie was kind of just picking on him and it he was just everyone was just kind of not good. And I think that was like the writers knew that that was the whole thing that was going on because you can kind of in that final scene in the finale with what's her name, Javadi, when she's talking about how everyone brings the work home with them, and they're all just like, house arrest or drug addict, or she said something about Mel, which I thought
Or
was
autistic.
kind of unwarranted, something like that. But she was that's kind of the whole message of the season. It's about the come down, except for Robbie, who's basically just put that dude in a straitjacket or something.
Yeah, I like how usually shows if they have like a really successful first season, like how they would think to like make it even like up the ante, like how season one was Pit Fest. I feel like most showrunners would be thinking, okay, how can we make this even more crazy? I like how the
Duffer
Pit
Brothers.
kind of took a risk where they kind of like slowed it down and made it more focused on Robbie. Basically, the season was a character study of Robbie. I really liked that because I feel like 99% of shows these days would not take that risk. They would like, okay, how they would be thinking, okay, how can we make something even more crazy than the Pit Fest? And it would probably be worse for it if they did try to do that. So I really appreciate like how they took a risk out there and it worked.
Yeah, I think if they do some kind of big event like that every few seasons, it'll be good. And then, since this show has so much longevity to it, we can shit out a season every year. We can have these seasons where like we just kind of chill with the characters and then say the big things. So it's not just every season. There's like, oh my god, the fucking nuke went off and there's 100 people who are like burnt or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like so we haven't really talked about Robbie's arc. We kind of like have talked about how it's kind of a big part of the season, but what do you guys think of how his arc was this season, like how it started and how it ended up, and all that.
I'm glad there was no like, I mean, everyone who watches the show knows that this isn't the type of show that, oh, let's just give a full stop resolution to the basically the main plot. Let's just give it a full stop thing at the end of the season. Let's give him some, whatever. You know what I mean. A lot of fans were expecting a lot of subplots and like loose threads to be wrapped up definitively by the finale. Uh Basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad that Robbie didn't get some sort of renewed will to live, like all the demons are gone in one episode. He's happy, he's ready to get back to work. Like he's still gonna take that sabbatical, but he had basically all of the important people talk to him in that finale, which kind of echoed in his mind, especially Langdon, that really harsh talk. And that was really needed and pretty awesome because that dude was just straight up a dick and beating himself up for the previous 12 hours. He had a pretty great arc. I honestly wasn't really expecting that. I don't know if you guys were expecting it or if they were like cluing people in based on interviews before the season came out, but this kind of just it surprised me that direction they went with Robbie and his arc personally.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to have this whole, because they already kind of did him having depression last season, but they really went into it this time. And I thought his arc was way better this season personally. I'm never one for I didn't like the flashbacks and stuff that he had in season one. Like I get why they were there, but I never fuck with that kind of shit. This season was a lot more I don't want to say subtle because obviously it's not really that subtle, but I don't know, just hit harder for me personally, especially this last episode. Noah Wiley, very good actor. He'll probably win the Emmys again, I guess. Yeah, I fuck with it. I love how much of a cunt he was to everyone. It was funny.
The flashbacks in season one, I haven't seen season one since it released. But I found the flashbacks really moving. Robbie's arc this season, I think, uh, it was really good. I don't know. It was definitely different because he's like really rude to basically everyone. There's no one he's really nice to. Even someone you wouldn't expect him to be rude to, Dana, he like chews out multiple times this season. It's not the most pleasant thing to watch. And the thing with Langdon, I did kind of think the Langdon and Robbie thing, there was a certain point where I kind of thought like, okay, this has got to go somewhere. But in the end, I actually liked that they didn't resolve anything at all. Like they still have things to resolve. I like how I was kind of expecting them to work out their problems this season, but I kind of like that it's gonna keep going, where they're still gonna have to figure out their issues, which I feel like season three's theme is gonna be a lot about Robbie trying to overcome his depression and make amends for people in the hospital.
Yeah, I think season three really needs to clean up some of the beef that's been brewing, mainly Langdon Santos and Langdon Robbie. Like, I don't think that needs to be dragged out much more than it currently is.
I do agree with the word that HN used, which is subtle, because like obviously towards kind of the back third of the season, he starts basically saying out loud the things that he's feeling, like when he talks with Dana and says something like, what if I don't come back, etc., this or that. But basically before that, like basically for the first 10 or so episodes, most of his mental state is clued in through his interactions where he's criticizing other people, like Senna said. Like he's criticizing Dana and he's criticizing Langdon. And sometimes it's a little bit warranted. Like there's probably an actual legal reason why Dana should probably not be carrying like horse tranquilizer in her pocket, something like that, just for a random situation. But a lot of it is clues. He's just being a dick to everyone. Uh, in particular, I find it really interesting that he doesn't really say anything mean to what's her name? I forgot her name already. Oh, Santos.
Javati?
Like
Oh,
no,
Santos. Yeah.
Santos specific. No, he was kind of a dick to Javati. I think after she was kind of still in shock with that one patient that her and Ogilvy missed, I believe. Uh,
Yeah.
when she didn't want to do that procedure with that really talented or renowned specialist doctor, and he just told her to man the fuck up. But with Santos specifically, I'll be honest, maybe you guys could help me out because I'm still a little bit lost on why he treats Santos like a little more sparingly with the criticism, considering the fact that she's kind of, I don't know, she's kind of a dick this season, justifiably so maybe because she feels like an outcast. But I found it really interesting that he's pretty much nice with her. Like we all know why he's nice to Whitaker. He's kind of treating Whitaker like the new Langdon, kind of treating him like a protege. But Santos, I don't really see how that relationship developed. Maybe he respects her for coming forward with Langdon's drug use, given the fact that Langdon was a huge dick to her and she was still kind of like a newbie. So, being a new person and outing someone so respected like Langdon, that takes a lot of courage. But I don't know, maybe you guys can clue me in on that.
Well, yeah, definitely the respect thing, but also I guess he just kind of fucks with her. I mean, I fuck with her. They're both like cunts, and I guess real recognizes real, but also, you know what I mean? Like, I like she also is like hyper competent at her job, like so she's really good, and also she just has funny vibes. I guess nothing wrong with that.
I'd say, well, Robbie didn't. There's usually some form of truth at the people he is yelling at. Like, there's some justification, but not like he really shouldn't do that. Like, he usually has a reason to be mad, even though he really shouldn't be that mad that how angry he is. I think with Santos, like, yeah, I just can't think of many instances she made mistakes this season. I think there was some questionable things last season, but I didn't feel like she was like making mistakes that Robbie had to ridicule for this season for it to be an issue.
Well, yeah,
The
Santos was
thing
like
is,
being really mean to people last season, and this season she's been pretty chill, honestly. So there's nothing to get mad at.
we'll see, like the things that Robbie criticizes people for this season don't really seem to be like quote unquote like mistakes. Like they're more so like ambiguous situations or just random emotional shit like Mohan with her what's it called? With her mommy issues. Cause like, Javadi makes that mistake and I don't think I see Robbie really criticize her. And then Ogilvy makes another mistake and he doesn't really blame Ogilvy, I guess. He kinda tries to throw a little bit of blame on Mohan. But most of the time I feel like he's just using these ambiguous situations to just kind of, I don't know, shit on people.
I think the Mohan thing was basically a projection. Like when he's talking about deal with your mommy issues at home, not here. I feel like that was kind of a projection where, you know, we got some information about his background with his mom this season. So I feel like he was just he kind she kind of ried him of himself. He didn't. That kind of like brought some emotional response out of him.
Yeah, I also really was super impressed, and I know I have to mention it because I think I saw HN say a message a long time ago where he was tired of Jeff Kober or Duke. He said he was tired of his character, but no, man, that dude is chill as fuck. Uh, I couldn't get enough of him. I'll be honest with you. He's such a bro, especially for that conversation in the penultimate episode. He's just an all around great guest performance. Probably worthy of an Emmy for I forgot what they call it, the guest
Guest
actor.
actor, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably gonna win that. I'll be honest with you. But he was just a great character, a really great kind of like background character to sort of convey all of Robbie's frustrations. Like Robbie was kind of, distracting Duke, trying to, get him all these scans and everything when really the main person in danger is Robbie himself. So I was really impressed with how this, kind of like Louis, honestly, like how this one patient that we've never met just allows us to feel so much emotion.
Well, I didn't mind that character. I was just kind of annoyed that all of these great scenes of Robbie actually finally expressing himself were with this character who we only just met this season. Like, I wish. I mean, he obviously has scenes similar to that with characters we already know, but I think I would have just preferred if most of that was for, characters who we already have available.
Yeah, but who would he even express? I don't think I could see him expressing that to anyone except maybe Dana,
My goat
honestly.
Langdon, bro.
He doesn't fuck with Langdon anymore, bro. He's a stupid drug addict. All right, chill,
Probably
chill, chill.
like
I'm sympathetic. I'm sympathetic to the drug stuff.
probably
Hres
like
wants the ones that relapse up.
Whittaker or Abbott. But I
Did you
think
say
it's different
Whitaker?
because
Bro, how do you pronounce Whitaker, bro?
Wait, I forgot how to pronounce it. I've never said that word out loud. Whitaker.
They say it 100 times in the show, bro.
But I don't like say Whitaker out loud, so I had to like think about
Whittaker.
like
That's like a Dan kind of
Whitaker.
move, bro.
Whitaker.
He's infecting this podcast.
Yeah,
Oh my-
but I think he conveyed with Duke because he's like someone outside of the hospital. That's the reason he was able to even confide him. I don't think he would. It would take a lot for him. There's people he's close to Whitaker and Abbott on some level, but it would still take a lot for him to say that stuff to them, especially since they're his coworkers. Kind of like how, like when Alashimi revealed some information to Abbott in the not Abbott Robbie in the finale, that kind of like changed the dynamic for him. So I feel like if Robbie was telling, for example, Abbott, like he wasn't sure if he's gonna make it to the like live, then that could cause some issues. So I feel like he felt more safe opening up to someone like Duke than one of his coworkers, basically.
I did find it interesting how in the penultimate episode, in that conversation with Duke in the ambulance bay, he says something specifically, if I recall, like he said that the hospital or the ER specifically is the only place where everything like he can really clear his head. It's when he goes home and when it's quiet that he kind of lets the demons in. But then when he talks to Abbott in the finale, I think he mentions how all the death, seeing people die every single day in the ER, how it's contributing to his mental state in a negative way. Obviously it would do that to basically everyone who works there. So I did kind of find I guess the differences, like those are kind of two contradictory statements. I did find that a little bit interesting.
I think it's because I mean it's kind of a bit of both. Like what happens at the hospital affects him at home, but if he's just working at the hospital, then he's not thinking about everything that happened before. I guess. So I kind of
Yeah.
saw it as that type of thing.
Yeah. I guess it could also be seen maybe as like he thinks maybe the only thing he's good at is being in the ER, but to be good at something or to feel like he has a purpose, he has to be surrounded by that death all the time. Because he does talk to Mohan and he does kind of half poke fun at himself, but also half kind of, let out that, he's, I forgot how old he is, probably like over 40 or something, and how he has no wife, no kids, nothing, like no family to go home to. So yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. Also, like how he basically has no friends outside of the hospital other than Duke, because like he says, like Abbott tells him that he's um
Emergency
his
contact.
emergency contact. Yeah, I thought it was like, I mean, it's not surprising. It's just like that was like a moving part of the finale to me.
Yeah, I mean, Abbott is such a bro. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch season one to see if we got a lot of him. Actually, no, I can pretty fairly remember he was in a lot of it because of the Pit Fest shooting and how he had to be called in early for like that emergency. But just, Abbott is such a bro. Uh, the whole night shift, I'll be honest, I don't think we need a whole spinoff about them. They're good in doses, but I'll take more of Abbott any day. Pause.
Yeah, we definitely do not need the night shift spin-off. That shit would be lame.
I don't think it'd be lame if they want to do it. Sure, do it. It'll probably work out. Well, I just don't think it's needed.
Yeah, we would definitely
Yeah,
watch it, but yeah.
season. Yeah, I don't know if they could do the spinoff. I don't think they need to think about that honestly right now. Abbott, the first scene of the show I think is Abbott on the roof and Robbie goes up to him, and I guess it's kind of implied he's contemplating suicide, but I don't think he's actually gonna jump off the roof and commit suicide in that scene. But yeah, I really like Abbott as a character. Um, I do wish sometimes that he had more screen time. But I guess that could like maybe he won't be as effective if he has like Robbie amounts of screen time.
Yeah, I think we get a good amount of him. Like he's already in basically like half a season anyway, so.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny early in the season. People were asking, "Where's Abbott? Where's Abbott?" And they didn't remember like he doesn't show up until the last couple episodes of season 1.
Yeah, but bro, he works with police, man. He's a fucking pig, He's a piece of shit.
True. Can we start getting into the politics of this show?
Like what, ICE or other stuff?
Nice, I guess. I thought that shit was handled very well, personally.
Yeah, it was pretty short. I think we were kind of worried because there's some articles that came out that said like a producer of the Pit said they're gonna have an ice storyline and it's gonna be balanced. Interesting word of the word balanced. And yeah, I didn't really when it came, it was they were like in 2 episodes maybe, and they arrested or detained Jesse, who's like a nurse, I think, and they were just like total assholes. It wasn't very balanced, so it was kind of funny they said it was gonna be balanced. They handled it pretty well, I thought, and it didn't feel like it overstayed his welcome. Because maybe if there's like tons of ice this season, it would kind of like maybe take you out of the show a bit, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah, I was worried Ice was going to be the new Pit Fest plot or some shit.
Yeah, I don't think that would work
I
out well.
was I, I was very impressed with that, honestly. I mean, they even got the finest of details, like the whole, you know, the whole ICE officers both having Hispanic last names, which is fucking hilarious, but also pretty sad. And even some minor things like that one nurse, or not the nurse, the lady that Dana calls in for backup when the whole system goes down.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
evil woman.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
evil woman who's like one episode you see her kind of talking to those ICE agents, and then the next one following she goes on that whole, oh, you libtards are so soft, you guys wouldn't survive my generation type shit. It's just the details of that ICE episode and the whole thing surrounding it, and even them taking Jesse to some random ass like detention facility that no one knows anything about. Just terrifyingly accurate. So yeah, I was a pretty big fan of how they handled it. I still want them to go harder, I'll be honest.
Wait, you're a big fan of Ice, is what you just said.
All right, bro. Yeah, yeah. Yes, I am. We're I support. We endorse ICE here at the behind the screen.
Yeah.
Interesting. Also, there was the other law enforcement aspect of this season, which was the the rape kits, and how Dana was really angry that they wouldn't come, and the police wouldn't come and pick up the rape kits, and then they finally came in the I think that was the season finale. And yeah, I thought that was it was kind of a funny scene.
It was funny.
Yeah, because she was like
Okay, bro.
she was like she was like berating them. It was like they like didn't care. I don't know. It's like kind of humorous, I guess, because they're like
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
they're kind
so.
of
Sure.
idiots.
I'll be honest. Out of all of the subplots that took the course of multiple episodes, or at least more than one episode, I'll be honest. I'm not feeling too hot on Cancer Mom. Was just it felt kind of like it was dragging out. But maybe
Oh
that's
yeah.
just the truth of it. Someone who is dying of cancer. It's not You don't really get to choose how fast you go or anything like that. It can be a very long, excruciating, painful thing to go through, especially when it's terminal. But for me personally, the pacing was starting to feel a little bit too long, maybe an episode or two. And, the cherry on top, the fact that the person who was with her the longest, McKay, she kind of just walked out. She did a good thing when she walked out. She showed Ogilvy, someone on the street who obviously needed help. But, that was just kind of the cherry on top. McKay wasn't there to really say goodbye when she was the one kind of taking care of her the most.
Yeah, we'll say like the patients themselves this season, none of them had quite like the emotional impact that some of the most devastating ones from last season did. Like the parents of that kid and whatnot. They felt a bit more, I don't know, rudimentary.
Yeah, except for the first one with Louis. That was pretty good.
I don't give a fuck about that guy.
What the
Ah,
fuck?
you're a piece of shit, bro. You're
No,
a piece of shit.
I did not give a fuck. Thank God he's gone.
No, but honestly, Louis in a way, he was kind of like I'm not even trying to glaze or shit on you. He was kind of like the glue that once he passed away, I feel like that's kind of the point where everyone started to feel pretty shitty and not happy, and we started to get those episodes where people were just shitting on, or Robbie was shitting on each other or on all of his people. I feel like everyone, you know, came in, tried to have a good shift. Then Louis died, and he was a frequent person there. It was kind of unexpected because he kind of always gets in there and gets the alcohol drained out of him. Then once he's gone and they had that thing in the viewing room for him, everything just started to go bad in the show.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I just don't. care. I don't fuck with that character.
I thought he was a great character, but the cancer thing, the cancer patient, the like most sluggish part of the show is whenever they have a patient who like doesn't want to leave or doesn't know what they want to leave. It's like the most. It's not boring, but it's like kind of like drags the show the most, even though it's
I
kind of
think as far as
necessary.
patients go, the highlight for me was the sexual assault victim who Dana and I think her name's Emma were working with. I think that was the most well put together one. I like that plot.
Yeah, that one was pretty moving, and I also really liked the guy who couldn't afford medical bills. I thought that one was pretty good also.
Had a pretty crazy ending though.
How did
Yeah,
how did I don't even remember.
Didn't he just like die?
No, he had, wasn't it diabetes that he had or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like whatever condition he had, the whole reason he left, he was like working two part-time jobs, and at that second job that he went to after he left the hospital, he like passed out and fell and hit his head really fucking bad. I think they were
Oh
talking
yeah.
about how he's gonna be basically paralyzed, not paralyzed, but like a vegetable, and that the best case scenario is he might be able to talk very limited after a year. So yeah, his whole life for him and his family is just fucked up forever. I'm not gonna lie. That shit was really messed up.
Yeah, pretty depressing. At least
I
the
also
body
I
got
like
to drill into his head.
all right, so someone start. Who talked first? Go.
I was just gonna say I also really liked the one in the finale with the pregnant lady is like the most exhilarating like procedure I think they've done this season. I thought that was really well done.
I don't know, they need to stop doing these fucking childbirth segments on this show, bro.
Why?
I don't want to look. I don't want to see that shit.
I thought it was really cool looking. I don't know like how the way they did it. Like I have no clue if it's realistic or not, but like I thought it like looked really cool. I thought the scene was really exhilarating. I like call it like the night shift and the day shift people working together.
I don't know. During that whole scene, I'm just like, why are we watching the night shift do this instead of having any like character like scenes?
We did get. I feel like we got plenty of character scenes in the finale though.
Yeah, but we could get more. One thing I will say is I wish all the episodes were actually an hour long. I think all of them were like 45 minutes.
Yeah, they're fairly short. I don't remember how long the season one episodes were though.
I feel like they're at least a bit longer, like maybe 50 or 55.
Yeah, I don't really care about the episode length to be honest.
I don't know, I'm always just mad whenever an episode ends, which is probably a good thing. It shows that I'm like loving the show, but you know.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst part of watching every week. There's always a cliffhanger, and sometimes I'll forget what happened. Like I forgot her name, but the new girl that was basically shadowing Dana, like how she gets like shrinkled at the end of that one episode, and then we have to wait a week, and then when the next episode started, I like completely forgot that happened.
Yeah, true. Her name's Emma, by the way.
Emma, yeah, she was a great addition.
Yeah, she was nice. She was a cool character. I like that she got out unscathed.
Yeah, I also really liked Ogilvy. He got hated at the beginning,
Oh,
but I
he was
really
great.
liked, yeah, especially like the final scene with him and Whittaker. Whitaker.
Control him, bro.
I don't know. I keep saying Whittaker. So Whitaker, him and Whitaker. I thought that scene was like really, really good. It's like probably one of my favorite scenes of this season. I thought it was really moving.
Do you think he'll be back?
I hope so. I don't know though. It makes sense if he wouldn't because
Yeah,
like
probably. I don't think he will
basically
be,
gave him a
but if he
choice.
does, I'll be happy about it.
I'd love him to come back and like basically like he would. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool if he came back instead of just leave it because it's too hard.
Yeah, I'm curious what characters will return next season. I really hope Al Hashimi does, but I honestly don't know.
Alishimi probably. I assume.
Dude, speaking of Aoshimi, what was she trying to gain from showing Robbie her case file with like all her seizures and everything? What was the plan there? Because like obviously she just hung out with Robbie for like the past, I don't know, 12 hours or something. And they've had some moments where they were kind of in agreement and working together. And then there were other ones where they were clearly butting heads. What was the play there? What was she thinking that he was gonna say?
I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to make his day worse.
I think she just wasn't thinking. It was she just wanted to do the right thing. Honestly, I think she just wanted like she didn't want to lie or like hide stuff, and I think she was trying to find the right moment for that day for her to tell him that. And obviously, that was like the worst time to tell him that. But I don't think she really had a plan. She just didn't want to hide that from him.
Seems like a pretty bad time to drop it, though.
Yeah, because like if you're one of those few listeners who thinks that Robbie was in the wrong, I'm sorry, Robbie was like 100% justified. Maybe he shouldn't have yelled at her, but honestly, she started screaming first. Sorry, but he was 100% justified in telling her that she is not. She's got to inform their chain of command or whatever. Like you can't have a doctor who had two seizures in one day, like to be in charge of an ER. Where you're I mean, we've seen what they do there. They're basically cutting people up, doing all kinds of freaky shit. Like you, you can't really, you can't work there like that. I'm sorry. How are you even driving?
Well, I guess she's not.
Wasn't she? Didn't she drive away in the
No, she
parking
stopped.
garage? Oh yeah, yeah.
I was honestly expecting her to have another seizure when she was driving away. I'm not gonna lie.
She's gonna crash into Robbie and kill him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I saw a great
That's
tweet
it.
that said, so Robbie like gets the will to live again, and then he still ends up getting a car crash and dying anyway.
I also so a lot of people. I thought when I initially watched the ending of the finale, like I thought it was obvious that the Robbie that final moment was Robbie deciding not to go on the trip, but then interviews said that it was like supposed to be ambiguous, so you don't really know if he did or not. So I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely read it as him not going, but I guess it won't matter either way.
Yeah, I think the interviews I read kind of implied that he did go on the trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess
Yeah, I'm
we'll
pretty sure
see.
Noah Wiley said he's still gonna go anyway. Maybe not for as long or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Because I think season 3 is gonna be like 4 months later or something.
I think they straight up said in the interview that he's gonna go on that 3 month sabbatical, but he's gonna take like an extra month off. I think that's what they said in that one.
Oh
and I
shit.
think they said something about like he's gonna. I don't know the exact wording, but like he's gonna come back in a different way, or like I don't know, something like that. Like it's gonna
He's
be
gonna come
different.
back with all his arms and legs cut off from his bike crash.
Yeah, he's gonna roll from a wheelchair.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Who's the best new character? It's not Ogilvy. It's actually Joy.
True, she was pretty cool. I forgot she was even in it though. She didn't really add much, but she was funny.
She straight up left for like the last 4 episodes or 5 episodes. So yeah.
Good on her. My favorite plot of this season was Santos and Langdon's beat, which we haven't gone
Yeah,
into.
that was good. I wish we got more of it, but it made sense why we didn't because they didn't want to resolve it this season.
Yeah, I
I
really
thought
wish we had at least one more scene or something. They don't have to resolve it. Just I don't know. That's my favorite stuff from this season by far. So I wish there was more of it. I want them to yell at each other.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting there to be one final scene in the finale, but their confrontation was like one of the best scenes of this season.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad Santos isn't letting him off easy. They're my two
I'm
faves.
not a Santos fan. I'm not.
I love
I'm
her.
not a Santos fan really. She's just kind of. She's just. Bro, I'm sorry. She just doesn't mesh well with anyone, bro. I'm sorry.
What about
It's just
Whitaker?
Her
not.
and her and Langdon are my two favorite
Whitaker,
characters.
bro. Whitaker's already outgrowing her, bro. He's already fucking some farm girl, taking over Robbie's apartment. Like, bro, he doesn't need to live with her anymore. Santos is chill. Uh, I was obviously hating on her when they had that one scene where they were kind of going back and forth with Langdon in front of a patient, and Garcia had to call her out, saying she was unprofessional. But I do kind of think she was being a bit childish. But I'll be honest with you, Langdon did kind of get some favorable treatment or whatever. Like, no one would really come back from stealing drugs from a fucking patient and using it for yourself. And I was seeing some interesting tweets saying, like, I'm still a Langdon fan, obviously, but a lot of people on Reddit specifically were saying that him stealing drugs, like, if that happened in real life, he would still be allowed to come work for the hospital. Like, I don't know, bro. Someone's got to fact check these people because that doesn't sound right at all.
Well, yeah, Robbie covered it up for him anyway, so clearly it wouldn't fly.
I think you can do it. Just like probably wouldn't be common for a doctor who stole drugs and then went to rehab and then came right back after rehab. It's probably abnormal. I don't think it's like not allowed. Just like would be pretty abnormal.
They probably make exceptions for go-to doctors like Langdon, who is, the best doctor around.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, that scene where he did the whole I gotta look up the specific procedure, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I think it was like in the penultimate episode, when he does that sick ass procedure, and Robbie was telling him to doctor the fuck up and everything. That's probably one of my favorite scenes for the entire season. That shit was so baller. He's the goat. The goat is back, you know, and he's gonna be even more of a killer in season 3. He's gonna be running that shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think some of Robbie's best moments, even though he can be a cunt a lot of the time, those moments like with Langdon, and he also has a moment with Javadi as well, where he like really puts him on the spot and tells him like, you got to make your move now and like show everyone that you've got it. He like forces people to step up to the occasion, which I think is his best quality.
With Thanos, I wish Thanos had more to do this season. I thought she was a big part of season one. I feel like she didn't have as much stuff to do this season, so I hope there's more for her in season 3.
I heard there was something going on behind the scenes where she was maybe injured or something, but that's why she was just sitting there charting for like a lot of the time. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I know. I don't know their name. I forgot the cast names, but the actors for Santos and Langdon are like pretty busy with like plays on when they're not on the pit. So a lot of people are speculating that they might be exiting the show soon, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
they're definitely got to keep them around because they're like two of the best characters.
Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah. Apparently, Langdon is in the final year of his residency. Like he'll still be in season 3, according to the post finale interview. But it will be like the last year of his residency. So he might be gone. He might be a goner after season 3. If him and Robbie don't patch things up.
Nah, he's
Honestly,
gonna be the new attending, bro.
I don't want a drug addict doing procedures, bro.
Sure, he's in
We
rehab.
do.
Yeah, true, I do.
He did that fire procedure, bro. What are you talking about?
It'd be interesting for Alashimi to be in season 3 because of Langdon, because she found out that Langdon stole drugs from the hospital, and she clearly was not happy with that. So I think it'd be interesting for that dynamic if she comes back.
Yeah, Al Hashimi has a lot of great drama with other people, so I don't want them to get rid of her. And if Langdon leaves the show, then we will stop watching.
Yeah, for sure. Langdon's. We're all done. We're boycotting the pit if they
Yeah.
get rid of Langdon.
The show has drug addicts.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty big fan of how I guess the way to describe it would be there was a lot of baby shit in the finale. Like, there's obviously the discussion that not discussion, the baby's not talking back. The moment where Robbie's with baby Jane Doe and he's kind of like projecting everything onto her, like telling her that she'll be fine and that he was abandoned at like age 8 or something. It was pretty emotional. But also that scene where they do the emergency C-section, and this occurs like right after him and Abbott are talking about, Robbie's suicidal tendencies. It kind of is obviously framed like maybe a very slight rebirth or an actual like birth of Robbie's will to live again, ever so slightly, because you don't just get rid of all those demons in like 1 hour. But I was a pretty big fan of the direction it went. I thought it was honestly a perfect finale, even though a lot of Hit fans online, which we don't have to talk too much about, a lot of them were like, "Oh, there's so many loose threads that they didn't wrap it up in the finale. Santos's self-harm, all this other stuff. They it just doesn't make sense. Their complaints. It's, a lot of things are going to be open-ended. That's really just the nature of a show, especially a show that is like all taking place over the course of like one 12-hour shift or something.
I mean, we'll have a new season in like 8 or 9 months. What's the problem?
I really liked the finale. I was like I knew we weren't wrapping up everything, but I got more than I expected we would get in the finale. Like I was pretty sure we just weren't gonna get a Langdon Robbie scene, but we did. And yeah, I thought it was a really good finale. Probably the season 1 finale I preferred, but this one was still really good.
And don't forget the best scene in all of TV, the karaoke scene.
Yeah, that was so good. I wonder how many people backed out of the show before the credits and didn't see it.
Those people need to be killed. You should watch the credits, guys.
There's some shows like I forgot. There's like some show that there's like post credits a lot, and I miss it usually because like Yeah, I don't know. I usually don't
This
scroll
one wasn't
down
even
for the
post
credits.
credits though. It was like 10 seconds in.
Yeah, I think I saw some people like they didn't realize the scene happened and they had to go back because they clicked out. And so yeah, we can wrap it up in a second. Just like
Hres is
season,
hating on the poster for this season when season 1 didn't
Bro,
have any good posters either.
it
it
makes
looks stupid, bro.
It's funny.
the season 2 poster makes more sense now after the season. Like
Well, yeah,
it's kind of
obviously, but it still looks like look at how the letters are like framed on the, or they just go vertical. It looks so dumb.
It looks cool. Shut up. I'm
Especially
gonna
because
print this shit out and frame it on my wall just to piss you off.
especially because his face is like not even lined up. Like his left eye or his right eye is like closer to the eye than the left one. It's just it don't make sense, bro. It doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
Mr. Graphic
it's like
Designer.
portraying his psyche this season. Like he's
Yeah,
like,
okay. I don't think they did that, bro. They definitely paid some intern like $15 an hour to just get this done.
I mean, it's just a picture of him with words on it. Like, it's fine.
It's they probably already had this all like ready. They just had to edit it and add Emmy award winning in there instead.
Yeah, true.
I think it's a fine poster. I don't remember the season.
Is
Alright,
season
bro.
2 gonna sweep the Emmys again? What's the competition this time?
Probably
Pluribus?
Pluribus
Stranger
is
Things
the
5.
biggest one. Not Stranger Things.
Wait,
Is
Progress. What?
industry
I've
gonna
never
get
heard
a
of that.
nod?
No.
Industry has 0 Emmy nominations so far, so I doubt it.
Wait, Euphoria.
Nah, that's
Euphoria,
not gonna.
Zendaya will probably win Best Actress, and that's it. Probably, because she won for season 2 and 1, so I assume she'll win again.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. Zendaya versus Ray Seahorn is gonna be tough.
Pluribus
Oh,
is
it's
not
gonna
winning
be.
anything, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's an Apple TV show. Fuck that.
And it's
Ray
mid.
has won quite a few awards though this like award season for Pluribus, so it's a real thing that can actually happen.
Nah, it's not happening. We need to keep the streak going. No Emmys for Peter Gould. I mean, Vince Gilligan.
Dude, TV kind of sucks for dramas this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like in terms of
No.
Emmys, like there's the Pitt, there's the there's Pluribus. What the fuck else is there, bro?
I can look up the odds real quick.
Does Night of the Seven
Beef?
Kingdoms even count as drama? Because it's like 30 minutes. Surely it'd be like comedy.
I heard that
It's
they're
not a
submitting it as a drama, like that makes no sense. I was
That's
It
a
should
terrible
win.
idea.
I'm not gonna lie. It should win. It should win.
I'd be
A
fine
Knight
with
of the
it, but
A
yeah.
Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is probably better than Pluribus. I'll be honest with you guys.
It is, absolutely.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No
I'm Pluribus'
fucking
number one
way.
hater.
Pluribus like boring after 3
Pluribus
episodes.
is way
type
better.
shit.
Pluribus was really good. I don't know.
Night of the
No,
Seven
bro, we
Kingdoms is
love-
fucking awesome.
Night Seconds was
Instead-
fun. It's just like whatever. It's like cool.
Yeah,
3 hours
Pluribus
cool.
fucking
don't-
put me to sleep, bro. It's boring.
Bro,
It's
we don't
not
care
boring.
about ambiguous protagonists. We just like watching John Good Guy, slay evil people. That shit is awesome, bro.
Literally, yeah.
It sounds like you
Yeah.
hate women.
Stranger Things 5 over Pluribus, bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
the
let's
competition.
calm down. Let's calm down.
The
No, this is
competition
the drama that behind the screen needs. I'm fucking fueling
Wait,
this podcast.
let him read the thing. Let him read the thing.
Competition is Pluribus, Slow Horses, The Diplomat, Paradise, Task, and then a nice Kingdoms of Euphoria.
I've never even heard of these
Sleep.
shows. Isn't
people,
Task a
people really like
miniseries?
Paradise. What?
Is Task a miniseries?
Yeah. Well,
So it's not-
no, kind of. It's a anthology series, so I think it
yeah.
can count as.
Is
drama.
Alien Earth? No, that was last year, right?
Alien, fuck off, bro.
People did
I'm
not like
just-
Alien. It does not. Yeah.
Wait, but that was last year, right?
I
Yeah.
don't think so. It was like
Oh no,
Dude,
it was
I'm-
like kind of second half of last year.
Dude,
August,
I think. So
Yeah.
it's this Emmy.
I was bored and I looked up this random like Reddit thread. What shows do you think will be nominated for Emmys in 2026? Why
Oh,
are
no.
half of the suggestions Dexter Resurrection?
That's not
Wh-
happening,
wh-
bro. And
why
are these-
don't even
no,
watch that.
No, honestly, it's better than Pluribus, but like, why is this?
No.
What?
Dexter is actual slop, bro.
No, bro. No, dude. It's actually you wouldn't get it, but the New Blood is like Twin Peaks, bro. It's actually like Twin Peaks: The Return. I swear to God,
really?
not.
Is it?
I'm not even tripping, bro. It's like
No,
probably
it's
the
not.
greatest. It's like the most Lynchian slop ever. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
it's not.
What does that even mean, bro?
Like it
Lynchian
has,
slop.
bro. It has like the baddies and everything. Like it's
Baddies.
so
There's more to Twin Peaks than hot women, bro.
yeah, I guess so. We can agree to disagree. We can at least agree Stranger Things deserves nothing this year.
No,
Fuck
Stranger Things needs to win. Actually, it'll make me very happy.
It's the greatest switch up of the year, bro. We were all hype when the first 4 episodes came out. Now it's ass, bro. Now it's ass.
It's not
Season
ass. We love
5 was
Stranger
not
Things.
that bad.
Season 5 was terrible, bro.
It was not terrible. People act like it's the worst fucking thing ever. It's not.
The peak of season 5 was literally the first episode.
No,
What?
third episode.
The crawl,
Wait,
bro. The
first, what are
crawl
you
is
talking
awesome.
about?
The crawl is awesome. That's
No.
it.
The peak of season 5 was actually the epilogue.
True.
Yeah,
But
I
also
guess
episode
so.
3, the Turbo Trap.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
I heard Stranger Things Tales from 85 is really bad from early reviews.
Oh, this is shocking.
Who could have seen that coming?
Wait,
bro?
Tales of
Comes out-
85,
Comes out
Emmy
Thursday.
versus the Pit, I reckon.
It's gonna
Nah.
be better. I watched
Tales
some
of
clips.
85
There's some
is
clips I
different.
released, and the voice acting is like really bad. It's like, yeah, it's not.
I swear to God, if you watch that shit, we're gonna need to put you down.
I'm watching it. I'm gonna binge it
Oh.
all. I don't care.
You need
What
to do a
is
solo
Slow
episode on that,
Horses?
bro. No one else is watching that.
Oh, that is really bad. I'll watch like one episode. It's like terrible. Like I can't watch anymore.
What is Slow Horses, bro? What the fuck is it? Olivia
Slow
Cook is in
Horses-
this? What?
Slow Horses is a
Oh,
great
we are
show.
watching.
It's a British spy show. They have seasons out every single year, like 6 episode seasons. It's a really fun show.
Gary
Wait, is
Oldman
that
and
one like Gary
Olivia
Oldman?
Cook, bro? Yeah, it is.
We might have to
Gary
watch.
Oldman. Yeah, it's a
we
great,
might
it's a
have.
fun, entertaining show if you like spy shows.
I've actually watched some dog shit movies because Olivia Cook was in them. I have no shame.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, you watched Beef
Hello?
season 2, but skip season 1.
We need to wrap this. We need to wrap this up.
Okay, bro.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right,
wrap it up.
final thing about this: The Boys is probably better than The Boys' final season. Probably better than Pluribus.
No.
No, not the fit. All right,
Stranger
wrap it
Things
up. Wrap it
clears
up.
the fucking oversoys.
Okay, bro.
And that's it for a conversation about the Pitt season 2. We might be back next week for Euphoria or The Boys or Invincible. Who knows what's gonna happen? You'll find out.
Oversoys.
See you.
All right, see ya.